Good morning. It is I, Gina Louisa, here to help raise the vibration of our collective consciousness even first thing in the morning. I got up, did a reading with my cup of coffee this morning, actually. Yum. Always put half and half and cream in my coffee. I never put sugar in anything I drink. I don't mind eating sweet stuff, but I won't drink sweet. But I put cream in my coffee. 1 second. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I give my body lots of cream and butter and things like that because I don't want my body to think it has to retain any fat, I just realized I still had my hair up in night mode. I'm just being totally comfortable. I want to show you that I'm not pretentious. Nothing about me is fake. I pretend. I'm not pretending to be something. I just am what I am. I am's what I am. This is like Popeye. The High Priestess I cut to today. Like, what do you need for me to know, God, And then what needs to show today? Always with show. I need to show. I need to know that I am the High Priestess. You see, when the Four of Cups came out beneath me, I listened to other readers the way they read the Four of Cups, and that's fine for them. But the way I see the Four of Cups is, I'm sleeping just fine. See what I'm saying? My swords of truth, right up on my heart. Right? Swords represent truth. Oh. Reiterated by the universe. That was cool, right? Wow. Whatever stupid message from, nothing important what that was. But that's so funny. Reiterated. Swords are truth. And you got, your swords above you, above your heart. And you got that one there, you got your finger in it, and I just hold it, got it just ready, right? Ready to wheel. But he's sleeping just fine. Okay, I sleep fine at night. I sleep like an angel with my truths. Okay? And then above me, the Queen of Cups. Of course, that ocean of emotion. Just like the art card of, the sunset at the ocean. Kind of funny, more ocean. And I look at that card, I'll look at that card like that. That, like the Queen of Cups looking out over the ocean of emotion, and there's another, oh, I guess the camera's saying, oh my God, there's a data warning. I gotta delete past videos. But it's true, the ocean of emotion that we look out over that makes us the Queen of Cups. Same cards, like at the shore, And then I cut. I cut to the High Priestess, and in my art cards, I cut to that like Norman Rockwell, happily ever after kind of card where everybody's got, all around the fire and in the log cabin. I could smell the pine. I just love cedar, pine log cabins. I just love living like that. The only thing you do inside the cabin is sleep, really. You come out to the fire to do pretty much everything else, right? Unless it's pouring out. And I woke with that feeling this morning, too. When I put the camera on for the cards. I sat here first with my cup of coffee, and I was just gonna sit here, and the birds were talking, their morning talk, how they do. And I wanted to share it with you. And you know how every time you turn a camera on, a critter stops doing exactly what it is you wanted to show that they were doing? But it had that feel, that camping morning feel around the fire with the coffee. And it's that feel I so want to share with you. You know, when you're the first one to get up in the morning when you're camping, or one of the first ones, you know. I'm usually one of the first, or if not the first. I get that fire going. Get that cast iron pan on the fire. Get that bacon in the cast iron pan. That gets everybody up. Get that hot water on, you know. And then pour it through the coffee in that nice big fresh pot of coffee. Oh, the camping smells, the fire, the bacon, the coffee. I even make toast. I know how to do everything. I love to cook over a fire. I just love the sight, the sounds, the feel of real. I keep these visions and I share them with you. You know? Envision I, like the poem says. Envision I where pavement once was grass for miles and miles and miles. And happy herds meander through orchards and groves and gardens, right? And the air and the water is so fresh and crisp and clean. And smiles twinkle in every eye seen. And yeah, I'm not gonna recite the whole thing, but you know what I'm saying. It's there. Go read it. I recited it for you. I read it for you. In every way I think of, I can try to share my countenance with God, bring it into this world, and then one by one, you know, even if you fake it till you make it, okay? Really. Fake it. Because when you put the fake in you and you fake it, you have to let that emotion in. Ask any actor, okay? When they're trying to fake that emotion, it really does affect them, you know. I mean, so let it in. Everybody is so willing to fake all the evil stuff. Fake something wonderful, okay? Say to yourself, I'm gonna pretend I'm Christ in this world. You know, not pompously, but I'm gonna pretend that I say a pure, true being from another galaxy. Yep, here we are. Like, however you gotta fucking pretend it. You know what I'm saying? To let that Christ consciousness, that joy, that bliss into your own self. Fake it till you make it. Look at, you know, when you look around at the plants, don't just look at them, but really look at them. Green, let green fill your heart. Fresh, young, beautiful green. That's God's promise to us. A fresh new growth of abundance and life. And blue, my goodness, it's truth. It's God's speak, it's God's voice, the blue. Let it in. Even if you don't know what it's saying, let it in. You see, you feel yourself all lit up, and then somebody will say, oh, I'm sitting here smiling like an idiot. No, you're not crying like an idiot. You're smiling like a saint. Let it in. Let it cleanse you. Let it wash you. So what? You're an idiot. You know, you could be a lot of things in this world. People choose, I mean, it's one little life, there's billions of us, right? That's how I look at it. If my one little life is going to choose to let this energy in, and I chose that when I was very, very young. Actually, I was born like that. My brother Frankie told me don't change. But then, when you go, and I lost Frankie when I was 7. So when I was 13, I had to make a conscious choice again. I remember, because I was pissed at God for taking Frankie away. There's nothing like him anywhere. Nothing, even remotely like Frankie. Frankie. I had to, I was bad. And that movie Jesus Christ Superstar came out, and I hadn't seen it, and it was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Why doesn't everybody just, Yeah, I said sitting there on the toilet, and God's like, well, it makes sense, Gina. Okay. All right, I'll be that one then, I jumped on that path, I'd say. I was on the path, little did I know. But I became aware of the path that I was on, and I made a verbal conscious vow at 13 to God that, okay, as long as this maintains, that that it's a good path, that it shows me that I'm doing the right thing, and that it's bringing me toward wisdom. So I know that the voice inside my head isn't lying, right? Like everything else out there does. I'll listen, really, because I found that no voices out in my life had my best interest at heart. It's terrible how that was true after Frankie died. Nobody had my best interest at heart. It was always what they wanted. It's still that way. And I'm beginning to understand that. When I say to, I started the dancing thing. I'm trying to show my atmosphere. I'm trying to show the creation that God made. And all guys want to see is my curves, which is okay. They're there to look at. That's what God wants. As long as you see this too. And so God made me understand that I am meant for your eyes and your ears, right? In your hearts, in your souls, but only. I'm not meant for hands. I have a very brittle body, like chalk. Okay, if you squeeze me too tight, I break. I pop. Things pop out of sockets, bones snap. You don't want to hurt me, right? I have to be treated very delicately. So I've learned I've learned the hard way that I'm meant for eyes and ears only, and hearts and minds. I would like to dance. I would like to be danced. I dance inside, by myself. But it would be nice I've never known. Isn't that funny, Like, I see it all over the place, in every cartoon and every romantic movie and everything, They always like, out comes the hand and she takes his hand and they dance. I always thought I'd be danced. The things that men do to me are not like that. They're not nice like that. And so I don't let you near me anymore. I'm tired of hurting and snapping and having to heal. Like, ow. Like, ow. I don't have body parts that can be slammed. A big, heavy man. You know, you guys don't realize, but you're like, you know, it's like, you know, you've got a house made of balsa wood and you let you know, Ferdinand the Bull go crashing through it. So I realized this is my, I can feel my nose, god damn. Oh. Because walks on eggs trusts one day she'll find he to call her own. And he will win me with his dancing and keep me with his soul. It's my destiny to follow my heart to the he who make me whole. Wow. It's I, Gina Louisa. Sharing all that I am with you. I'll see you tomorrow morning.